Practice and homework lesson 4.1. Estimate quotients using multiples. Find two numbers the quotient is between, then estimate the quotient. Now we know when it says quotient, that means to divide. And when it says estimate, we need to round. Number 175 divided by 6. So we can think that 6 times 20 is 120, and 6 times 30 is 180. Now, 175 is closer to 180 than it is to 120. So we can say that it is about 30 right here. So make sure to put about because that means that it was estimated and it's not the exact answer, right? So number 2, 53 divided by 3. So we know that 17 times 3 is 3 times 7 is 21. Carry the 2. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5. And so we can go one up to see what is a little bit higher and to see which one is closer. So 18 times 3 is 8 times 3 is 24. Carry the 2. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5. So we can see that 54 is closer to 53 than 51. So we can say here between 17 and 18, and it is about 18, since 18 is closer. Number 3, 75 divided by 4. So we can get 18 times 4. 4 times 8 is 32. Okay, the 3. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. That's 72. So we can say between 18 and, so let's look for the one up. So let's do 19 times 4. 9 times 4 is 36. Carry the 3. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7, so 76. Well, you can see that from 75 and 72, there's a difference of 3, while the difference between 76 and 75 is only 1. So we can say that it's between 18 and 19, and it's about 19. Number 4, 215 divided by 9. So we can multiply 9 times 20 and 20 times, 30 times 9. 30 times 9. So let's do this one first. Let's see what the answer is. 9 times 0 is 0. 9 times 2 is 18. So it's 180. 30 times 9 is 9 times 0 is 0. 9 times 3 is 27. So let's see the difference between 18 and 215. The difference between these ones are 35, while the difference between 270 and 215 is 55, right? So we can see that this one is smaller of a difference. So it's between 20 and 30, and it's about 20, since this one is a lot closer than 270. Number 5, 284 divided by 5. So we can say 5 times 50 and 60 times 5. So let's do 50 first. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 5 is 25. So 250. Now it's 60 times 5, so that is 5 times 0 is 0, and 6 times 5 is 30. So it's 250 and 30. So we can say it's between 50 and 60. Well, we need to see which one is closer. So between 250 and 284, there's a difference of around 34, while for the 300s between 284, there's only a difference of 16. So we can see that this one is smaller of a difference. So the 300 is closer to 284. So we can say that it's about 60. 60. Number 6, 191 divided by 3. So we can say that that is 60 times 3 and 70 times 3. So it's 3 times 0 is 0, 6 times 3 is 18, so it's 180. And then 70 times 3 is 3 times 0 is 0, 3 times 7 is 21. So we can see that the difference between 180 and 191 is 11, and the difference between 210 and 191 is about 19. So we can see that this one is a smaller difference. So we can say it's between 60 and 70, and it's about 60. Number 7, 100 divided by 7. So we can say that it is 14. 14 times 7. 4 times 7 is 28. Carry the 2. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 2 is 9. So it's 98. So that's the difference of two digits, right? From 98 and 100. Now we can do 15 times 7. So that'll be 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 3 is 10. It'll be 105. And the difference between 100 and 105 would be 5 digits. So we can see that the 98 is closer. So we can say that it's between 14 and 15. And it's about 14. Problem solving. Real world. Number 8. Joy collected 287 aluminum cans in 6 hours. About how many cans did she collect per hour? So it's asking about how many cans did she collect per hour, right? So it's 287 cans in 6 hours. So that's 287 divided by 6. Well, we can say that it's 6 times 40. We can check that out first. So 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 4 is 24, 240. So now let's do 6 times 50. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 5 is 30. So it's 300. So 40 and 50 are the two numbers that 287 is in between. Now we want to see which one is closer and which could be the estimate. So let's find the difference between 287 and these two numbers. So 300 minus 287 is equal to, borrow from the 3 to make it a 2, make this one a 10, borrow from that would be a 9, and make this one a 10. Since you cannot subtract 7 from 0, so 10 minus 7 is 3, 9 minus 8 is 1, 2 minus 2 is 0, so that's 13. So the difference between 300 and 287 is 13 digits. So now let's find the difference between 287 and 240. So 287 minus 240. 7 minus 0 is 7. 8 minus 4 is 4. 2 minus 2 is 0. So it'd be 47 digits difference between 287 and 240. So we can see that 240 and 287 is 47 digits in between, and 300 and 287 is 13 digits in between. So you can see that this one has the lesser difference. That means that they're closer together. So we can say it is about 50 cans per hour. Number 9. Paul sold 162 cups of lemonade in 5 hours. About how many cups of lemonade did he sell each hour? So that's about, meaning we have to round. How many cups of lemonade did he sell each hour? So it says he sold 162 cups in 5 hours. So we have to divide by 5 hours. So we can multiply 5 times 30. So that is 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 3 is 15. So it's 150. And so let's go one up. So it's 40 times 5. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 4 is 20. So we can see that 162 and 150 are closer because there are only 12-digit difference, while this one has a 38 difference, right? So it would be 30 cups, about 30 cups, about 30 cups per hour. Number 10, write a word problem that you can solve using multiples to estimate the quotient. Include a solution. So a possible answer for this question would be, Daisy earns $250 in 6 hours. About how much money does she make each hour? And the answer to that question would be about $42 per hour. Lesson check. Number 1. Abby did 121 sit-ups in 8 minutes. Estimate the number of sit-ups she did in 1 minute. So we can see that it says estimate the number of sit-ups she did in 1 minute. Estimate means to round. And so Abby did 121 sit-ups, 121 in 8 minutes. So we can divide that by 8 to find how many she did in one minute. So we can multiply 8 times 15 and 8 times 14 to see which one is closer. So 8 times 4 is 32. Carry the 3. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 3 is 11. So that'd be 112. 8 times 5 is 40. Carry the 4. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4 is 12. So it's 120 and 112. So we can see that the 120 is only a 1-digit difference from 121, while 112 is a 9-digit difference. So we can say that the answer is about 15 sit-ups. Number 2. The Garibaldi family drove 400 miles in 7 hours. Estimate the number of miles they drove in 1 hour. So the word estimate, we know that estimate means to round. So the total number of miles they drove is 400, and they drove it for 7 hours. So it's divided by 7. So we can do 7 times 60. 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 6 is 42. So it's 420. So we can go down to 50. So 7 times 50. 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 5 is 35. So we can see that this here has a 50-mile difference, while this one only has a 20-mile difference. So we can say it is about 60 miles per review. Number 3. 12 boys collected 16 aluminum cans each. 15 girls collected 14 aluminum cans each. How many more cans did the girls collect than the boys? So it's asking us how many more cans did the girls collect than the boys? So we know many more means that we have to subtract two numbers. So let's first get how many cans the boys collected. There are 12 boys and 16 cans for each boy. So 16 times 12, which is equal to 2 times 6 is 12, carry the 1, 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3, add to 0, 1 times 6 is 6, 1 times 1 is 1. Add that together, it's 2 plus 0 is 2, 6 plus 3 is 9, drop the 1, 192. Now let's do the girls. So it's 15 girls and 14 cans each. So 15 times 14, 5 times 4 is 20, carry the 2, 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2, 6, add the 0, 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times 1 is 1, add that together, 0 plus 0 is 0, 6 plus 5 is 11, carry the 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. So it's 210 for the girls and 192 for the boys. Now we have to see how many more the girls sold than how many more cans the girls collected than the boys. So 210 minus 192. So we have to borrow from the 2, make it a 1. This becomes an 11. Borrow for the 0 to make it a 10, and you get a 10 over here. So 10 minus 2 is 8. 10 minus 9 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So they collected 18 cans more than the boys. Number 4. George bought 30 packs of football cards. There are 14 cards in each pack. How many cards did George buy? He's asking how many cards did George buy? So we're looking for the total. So he bought 30 packs, and in each single pack, there are 14 cards. So we multiply 30 times 14. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 3 is 12. Add the 0. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 3 is 3. Add that together. 0, 2, 3 plus 1 is 4. So he collected 420 cards. So he has 420 cards in total. Number 5. Sarah made a necklace using 5 times as many blue beads as white beads. She used a total of 30 beads. How many blue beads did Sarah use? She's asking how many blue beads did Sarah use? So we can see that she used 30 in total. We can say that the blue beads is equal to X and the white beads are equal to Y. So there are 5 times as many blue beads as there are white beads. So we can say that since X is blue, X is equal to 5 times Y because the white beads are less than the blue beads. And then we say X plus Y is equal to 30. Since when you add the white and the blue beads together, the total is 30. So we can subtract this into here. So it'd be 5Y plus Y is equal to 30. That would equal to be 6. That would be 6Y equals to 30. So divide 6 on both sides. Y would be equal to 5. But we want to know how many blue beads there are, not white. So it'd be X is equal to 5Y, which would be equal to 5 times 5. When you replace the Y right here, would equal to X. So then X is equal to 25 blue beads. The answer is 25. Let me rewrite that. 25 blue beads. This would be the answer. Number 6. This year, Ms. Webster flew 145,000 miles on business. Last year, she flew 83,125 miles on business. How many more miles did Ms. Webster fly on business this year? So it's asking how many more miles did Miss Webster fly on business this year? When it says how many more, we know we have to subtract some numbers. So we subtract 145,000 minus 83,125. So we can use this one. Since 4 is less than 8, we borrow from the 1, negative 0. Now that's 14. Make that a 13 to borrow for the 5. That's 15. Make that 14 so that these zeros can have something to subtract with. So that's 14. This is 10, but then you have to borrow for the next one over, so make it a 9. Same thing with this one. You have to borrow for the last number, so make it a 9. And this one is equal to 10. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 2 is 7. 9 minus 1 is 8. 14 minus 3 is 11. Carry the 1. 13 minus 8 is 5 plus 1. That's 6. So it's 61,875. 61,875 miles is how much of difference she flew from last year and this year.